Alright, so before we get started for Unspoken by the Dead Daisies, one thing to note here is I'm playing this and teaching this in standard tuning, E-A-D-G-B-E, but the song, I believe, is tuned down half a step, so E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and then another E flat. So you could learn this and play this all in standard tuning, or follow the tab and everything I'm doing and just enjoy it in standard tuning. Maybe even tune it up with software, or tune your guitar down, as we just said, everything down by a half, everything flat tuned, and then you can play along with the original recording, still doing all the moves and everything you hear reading the tab. Okay, so let's get stuck into the intro then. First thing we're going to do, there is a pickup. We're on a B power chord, 2nd fret. And the way I've written a lot of the power chords in this song is just doubling up the root note with that octave. So 3-finger shape. 1st finger, 3rd, little. You're going to see that quite a lot as we go through these power chords. So there's our B power chord. And we're going to count for our intro. You don't hear the counting on the record, it just begins, but the counting would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and it comes in. On the record, you just press play and you hear straight away. So we're in on the end of beat 4. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And then that power chord is going to ring on the tab there for bars 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 7. It's ringing for a long time. There is another high guitar part that carries on and kind of fills the gap there, but I'm going to kind of stick with the main power chord parts, the bulk of the song here as we go. So that's going to ring all the way into bar 7, and then we're going to do the same thing again, that little 4 and on the B power chord, into bar 8, and that's where these power chords start moving. So in bar 8, we're going to go from a B power chord, 5th fret for a D, 7th fret for an E, and then returning back to the open position for an open A. And for the 2 notes there, you could use 2 separate fingers. I'm just laying down my 1st finger. So in order, B, then D, then E, then A. Nice clear rest in between that. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Into bar 9, we have a G chord. So I'm going to use my 2nd finger on the low note, and then kind of ACD style-esque, 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. So you notice the A string is blank. And what's really happening is the way our 2nd finger is curling over, it's blocking out that string. So when you strum it, you are hitting the A string, but it's not contributing anything other than that dead note. But in this tune, they kind of separate them out. So we do our original set of power chords. This is bar 8. And there's bar 9. So we're holding our G chord. You can see it says let ring on the tab. Pick the bass note, then the high notes. And that bar ends again with this little down up strum on the B power chord. Back into those ascending set of power chords we just did a second ago in bar 8. So bar 8 and bar 10 are the same. And in bar 11, instead of going to the G chord, like they did a minute ago, same idea, but now with an E. So open E, pick our bass note, follow in with the rest of the chord. So let's just put bars 8 through bars 11 together after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. And then we have another pickup to get us out of bar 11. So that's the 4 and that's going to get us out of bar 11 into bar 12. Same power chords again. B, D, E, and A. Back to the ringing G. Down up strum here on the semiquavers for the power chord of B. That was bar 14, phrase that you should probably recognise now. And then E, ringing E chord again. For bar 15, again separating the bass from the high notes. And that is the intro. So it's really just that one repeated idea of the power chords B, D, E, and A, with an alternating G ending or an E ending. So if we put together this whole intro, I'll play it slowly and we'll count out the beats, especially for the ringing part at the beginning. We'll make sure we do a counting as well. We'll just play through this whole intro slowly to put it together. So remember, the intro would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1. Down, up, down with your strumming. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, bar 3. 2, 3, 4, bar 4. 2, 3, 4, bar 5. 2, 3, 4, bar 6. 2, 3, 4, bar 7. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. That would be our whole intro. So maybe rewind that, play it along a few times, but that is an idea that we're going to see several times throughout this song. So that's it for the intro. Into verse number 1. Okay, so verse number 1 then, still with our power chords, familiar from the intro. We're playing a B power chord. And then the next move, so this is bar 17, it's marked as an A, not really a true A power chord because we've got our open A string, yes, but we're not moved to the 2nd fret here. We've actually still got our 3rd and 4th fingers down from the B power chord. So we're playing our B power chord, lifting that 1st finger off, but leaving the other 2 alone. So we get that. Bar 18 is a normal E, G and A in bar 19. So nice ringing chords here, and it's a bit more subdued compared to the full-on aspect of the intro. So just lighten up with your strumming here. Maybe roll the volume down a bit so the sound gets a little cleaner. Okay, so let's talk about the rhythm. Bars 16 through to 19. Well, the only really tricky bar here is the first one, bar 16. We've got a 3-beat note, a dotted minim. And then on the and of 4, we're going to play that chord again. So it's quite a quick change from the B chord into, let's just call it the A5 because that's what it's marked as the page, although it's not quite true. We've got quite a quick change there. So 16 into 17, that would be with counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And then bars 17, 18, both those chords ring for 4 beats. And in bars 19, the G and the A chord are 2 beats each. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's put that whole line together, 16 through 19. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Okay, let's just put that whole line together then, 16 through 19. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the first line of the verse. Following that, bars 20 through 23 are identical, and the same thing for 24 through 27. There's only one discrepancy in there, which is in bar 23. The D and the A chord, the rhythm is the same. There's 2 beats on each, but you can see it is now a D and an A, not a G and an A. So let's just play that. Bar 20, 21, 22, 23 with the counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as I said, bar 24 through 27 go back to the way they were in the first line of the verse. So we're going to jump over those for a second and go to 28 through 31. And again, you can see they're the same with the line ending in D and A. So really, it's just 2 lines that then get repeated. So let's just put those together. We're not going to play all of them, but we're going to play 16 through 23 on the tab. So we get to play both lines at least once. Here we go, bar 16 through to 23 with counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and then those two lines would go again. But that's it for the verse. So nice simple verse part, but really great ringing power chord. Sounds great with a bit of crunch. All right, hope that makes sense. So let's go into the pre-chorus, which is really short, but I'll see you there. All right, so pre-chorus number 1 then, we'll do the chords first. F sharp power chord, 2nd fret of the lower string. And again, we're doing the idea where it's not just the regular kind of power chord shape, which is 2 fingers. We're just doubling that up, adding the octave of the root note here under the little finger. And then we're going to move that to the 3rd fret for a G power chord, and then 5th fret for an A. So that was F sharp, G, and A. And then let's talk about the rhythm. So we've got straight quavers here. Quavers are, if you don't know, half beats, and they're counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So without any of the extra stuff, palm muting and accents, which we'll talk about in a second, here's just the basic rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But then you can see the PM on the tab. So the in the F sharp bar, the first one has got a little triangle under it. That's an accent. So that one's going to be a free strum. And then straight away our picking hand is going to go down and palm mute the rest. So we're going to have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then through the G and the A part, we're slowly releasing that palm muting for a crescendo. All together, 2, 3, 4. And that would be our pre-chorus. And that does happen again later in the song for the subsequent pre-choruses. Right, let's press straight on into chorus number 1 then. Okay, so for chorus number 1 in this song then, power chords again that we've already covered. B, D, E. But we've got a slightly new one now. This last one in bar 37 of the first line of the chorus, we're going to play our E power chord and then bring over our 2nd finger on the note of C, 8th fret of the bottom string. So we end up with this sound. Kind of crunchy, ugly sounding, but in the context of the song it sounds great. So let's just put this line together. It's straight quavers. Remember, quavers were 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Even though the song is quite fast, I'm doing all down strums here. It's much more kind of powerful and rock sound to it. So it's more about the sound than maybe the smooth technique of strumming up and down at this point. So all down strums, quavers. Let's do it with a count in bars 34 to 37. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. Straight onto the second line, very similar for the first 3 bars. B, D, and E remain the same, but a bit like earlier in the song, we're going to bring back these ringing chords. Open A for 2 beats and E, E. 2 beats on each, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's play that whole line. Here we go. 2, 3, and 4, and. Next line, bars 42 for 45 are the same as the very first line in the chorus, so we're going to jump over those and look at the ending of this chorus, bars 46, 47, and 48. This is the theme we had, the ascending power chord riff from the intro, so it should look pretty familiar. I remember when we get to our E chord, we're holding an open E, fingers are down and not moving, but our picking hand playing the bass note, then the high part of the chord, so it all washes together. Okay, let's just put that together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hopefully you can see that the last strum there of the E chord, there's lots of lines, ties, joining those last notes together. So it's going to ring out. So we're strumming it, and then it rings to kind of bring down the dynamic, ready for the next verse. So let's just put this chorus part together then. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start from, but no, actually I've changed my mind. Let's do it. Let's do the whole chorus. So 34 all the way through to the end of the chorus then. I was going to suggest maybe playing half the chorus, but that's no fun. Let's do it. All the chorus. Bars 34 all the way through to 48. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. 4. There we go. That's the whole chorus. All right, again, if you need to, watch it back, play along a bit, then play along with the recording, get each section polished up, and then try and join that to the verse, the pre-chorus, the intro, the bits we've already covered. All right, then, I'll see you for verse number 2. Okay, verse number 2, which starts in the song, you can see the lyrics there, in the waters you now realise, or now you realise, even. So bars 49 to 56 in the tab. Be careful because there is repeat marks around the beginning of bar 49 and the end of bar 56. So there's 2 lines written, but those 2 lines would have to be played again. They are verbatim the same that happened in verse 1, so we're not going to recap them or go too much in depth here. I'm just going to play them through to give us a chance to practice them. So here's verse 2. We won't do the repeats just for the sake of time here. So here we go, 49 through 56. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 4. 2, 3, 4. There's verse 2. Straight on into pre-chorus 2 and chorus 2 then. So we've arrived at pre-chorus 2 halfway through the song, bar 57, 58. Again, just like pre-chorus 1, this is the same. So let's just blast through and play this, and then we're going to go straight into the chorus. So 3, 4. There we go. And let's just join that together with chorus number 2. Again, chorus number 2 features all the same power chords, the strumming, the beats that we did before. The only difference is at the end of chorus number 2, we've got that ascending power chords coming back. This is bar 71. It's the same idea we had earlier. But this time, they end with a G chord first and then repeat that phrase and do the E. So we get 2 goes round instead of just 1. So instead of playing the entire chorus 2 here, let's just play from bar 67 through to 74. Just the different part. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. There we go, and that would wrap chorus 2. So we're really getting through the song now. Let's go to the breakdown. Alright, so now we're at the breakdown. We hit a big power chord on B, bar 75, and then it's going to ring. You can see that all these notes are tied together. So 4 beat, 4 beat, 4 beat, 4 beat, but they're all tied. So that means we're going to strum the chord once and let it ring. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Second bar, 2, 3, 4. Third bar, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. And in that time, the bass and the drums are doing their thing. Bar 79, this is technically another guitar part coming in on top, but there's kind of an open space otherwise, so I thought it'd be nice to put this little bit in there. So bar 79, we're working a bit higher up the guitar now at fret number 7. Because both numbers are in, or both notes even, are in the same fret, we can just lay our first finger down there and play both of those. And then we've got the same idea, same 2 strings anyway, but now 9th fret, 10th fret. And what I'm going to do is lay my first finger down and then have my second finger on the 10th fret note. So when I pick that, I can then get that pull off to happen. So then what's actually happening is the note of the B string, 10th fret, is falling to the 9th fret, but that note is under my first finger. So both of those together, with the rhythm, we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. 1, 2, 3, and then that note rings. And then this is now been bar 80, we just arrived at. We're going to play that 9th fret again, one more time, and then slide it down to 7. And then that's going to ring. So let's just put that together, 79 through 81. I'm going to count straight on beat 1 because there's a rest at the start there. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. and that's the end of bar of 82. We're on the D string now, 7th fret, 9th fret. I'm doing that 1st and 3rd fingers. And you can see it's marked over the top, there's some delay coming in there. I'm not going to mess around with that for now because it's such a short little part, but the delay then repeats that phrase into the next bars, 83 and 84, which is I've left blank. So the delay repeats it and it slowly dies away, which is really setting us up for bar 85 and onwards into the guitar solo. So I'm not using a great deal of crunch here, just enough to get me in the ballpark for most of the song, but they really do kick things up a notch when you come into this big slide here for bar 85. And there's no real pitch indicated, it's kind of just a slide from about 1st fret up to around about the 12th and back down. And of course, with a lot of gain and distortion on, it sounds mega, and I'm sure it's been layered up on the recording as well. But that's the kind of general idea. And that's going to get us into the guitar solo. Alright, so bar 86 then and onwards for the guitar solo. I've written out the rhythm part here instead of the crazy solo, but if you want we can do that in a separate video maybe at a later date. So, the rhythm part then for the guitar solo, a lot of the power chords we had earlier, and we're doing this nice little trick of playing a B power chord, lifting off the 1st finger and bringing it back down for the first idea. So we've got rest. So it's really important to have that rest on beat 4. Rest. And then bars 87, 88 and 89, those percentage signs are a single bar repeat. So we're actually going to play that same phrase 4 times in a row. So let's just do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3rd time. 4th time. And in bar 90 and onwards, we're going to take that same idea, but we're moving it to a G chord on the low strings. So same rhythm, just on a lower version of the chord. And then for the first time ending, underneath the 1 bracket, bar 93, we're going to play. So the A chord is the interesting one there. It happens on the and of the beat. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So if we put 86 through 93, so this is the guitar solo, the rhythm part at least, with the first time ending. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. On to G. First time ending. And then we hit a repeat mark. So we're going to go back to bar 86 and play the first half of the rhythm phrases again. But when we get to the end of the phrase now, we're not going to do bar 93 again. That was the first time ending. We're going to do bar 94, the E and the A chord. But the A chord rings now. So we're going to do that all again. Bars 86, but this time with the second time ending, which is bar 94. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So just practice putting those 2 halves of the rhythm around. So it's quite a long solo, but an absolutely killer solo. I'm not sure who played that. I think it might be Doug Aldrich. Great guitar solo though. Classic rock guitar playing. Okay, so that's it for the rhythm part for the guitar solo. So out from that, we're going to go back into a pre-chorus and back into chorus number 3. See you there. All right, pre-chorus number 3 then. No different to what we already had. So let's just quickly blast through that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget in the bar 96, their G and A chord, we're just slowly letting off that palm muting for that crescendo. And then into chorus number 3, same chords and ideas that we already had in the song, but be careful because chorus number 3, these first 2 lines are actually going to repeat 3 times. So a bit longer now for this last chorus. And then we're out into the ending. So instead of playing chorus number 3, because it's all the same, to save time, I'm actually going to jump to the ending. And we're going to be bringing back that ascending power chord phrase we had in our intro. B, D, E and A with a ringing G chord. And then the same thing again with a ringing E. So this is bar 109 to 112. Let's just play that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. And then on to the next line, bar 13. This is on the home straight now to the end. We get one more ascent through those B, D, E and A's. So for the final part, bars 115, they play the B and the A power chord. And I've kind of mashed two guitar parts together here. I think the low guitar actually goes down to the open E down here. But there's a high guitar that comes back up over the top and plays this 9-10 on the G and the B strings, a bit similar to we had earlier in the song. Hits the open E, and then... So again, to do that, I did the first finger laying down, and then that rings. So it's a little bit of a mash-up between parts, a little bit tricky to jump between them, but I thought it was fun. It's a nice way to end the song with a bit of a flourish. So let's play this last line, 113 through 116. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. And I've written that as a ringing for 2 beats, but you could actually just leave it quite longer. There's some feedback and noise and stuff at the end of the track. All right, but that's it. That is it for Unspoken by the Dead Daisies. This is a new song on me. I wasn't aware of this band until this song was brought to my attention, so I really like it, and I'll be checking out more of their stuff. I hope that helps. Enjoy, watch it as many times as you need, and fire any questions over to me. Thanks. See you later.